Hi there, welcome to another walk and talk. I am sick. I have that bug that's going around where you cough all the time and it feels like you got a wiener just dangling in the back of your throat, but otherwise I feel good. I'm a little run down, I got like a headache and stuff, but I decided to go to the corner store, which is not really on the corner. It's a bit of a walk, and I have to be a little careful while I'm walking because we still have icy roads, but I've got my boots on. I wanted to talk to you guys about the time that we almost lost the channel here on YouTube. And this was when Susan Wojcicki, who was at the time in charge of YouTube, she had come out and said, well, they're going to be changing their policies so that people can keep videos on the channel or just not be given a strike on the channel if a policy shift happens, which this was a problem on YouTube for a long time. Hasn't really been an issue for a while, at least for us. I know for other people it has been. But basically, she did a podcast and she was saying, well, if we shift policy and all of a sudden, if there's a video of yours that was allowed before, but all of a sudden it's not, and it's inappropriate for the platform, aka they could strike you or they could punish you, they won't do that. She said what we were going to do, because it's not fair, which is true, is that they are going to issue you a warning, hey, take that video down or you're going to get a strike. So they're going to give you 2 weeks, which I think is very reasonable. That way people are not punished for the past when everything was allowed back then, back in the old days with the vomit and the drinking and all that stuff. And this was a huge sigh of relief because we had been getting hit with strikes and all kinds of different content hits. And I know it wasn't just us. That's why she had to come out and clarify this new strategy. Well, that lasted maybe a month, and it was very effective too, because there was a lot of our videos that got age restricted, or we got the warning of hey, you really need to take this down because it's going to be a strike. And I was like, okay, I appreciate that. It's good communication, good management. And then all of a sudden, after that month or so, one night I go to sleep, everything's fine on the channel, and for some reason, I wake up at 2 a.m. and I just check my phone, which back then I don't. Now that I'm older, I do all the time because I'm paranoid. But back then I just didn't do that. I would just go back to sleep, and I was like, I'll check my phone. And I had a couple of email alerts, and it was, we had 2 strikes on the channel for older videos. So basically that whole you're gonna get a warning thing completely went out the window. And of course I freaked out and was like, wait a minute, what the hell? And so I got up, turned on my computer, we logged in, and I saw it. Yeah, we had 2 strikes for challenges. I think one was a drinking challenge and one had vomit. And I was like, oh my God, because if you don't know how YouTube works, if you get one more strike, your channel's gone. And chances of getting it back are very slim at that point. After 3 strikes, you're out. And so I immediately went into panic mode, and I immediately was like, okay, we're going to contest these 2 strikes. And I'm like, all right, I'm working on it. So I am unlisting the videos like crazy. And all of a sudden I get a judgment back for one video. And they go, nope, strike upheld. You broke the rules, F you. I didn't say that way, but basically, if you're disappointed with this, we understand. And I'm like, oh, it's not great. And then out of nowhere, I get a second judgment. Thankfully, this one comes back as, oh, okay, we're going to age restrict it, but we're lifting it from being a strike, which was very, very fortunate, because as I'm sitting there unlisting all the videos, now we're sitting with 1 strike, just literally 5 minutes after they cleared the one, we got another strike on the channel. And here's the kicker. It was on an unlisted video, and that's when I found out, oh, the algorithm doesn't care if your video is private or not. It is going to give you a strike regardless at this point. They just went full nuclear option without telling any of the partners on the channel. You think maybe sending an email out going, hey, in 2 days, we're going to revoke that whole, you're not going to be punished for videos that were okay in the past but aren't okay now. We're just going to go ahead and just get rid of everybody that's doing that with no warning whatsoever. And so that's when I went, oh, okay, well, I've got to delete every single video that contains drinking, vomiting, anything that could be considered harmful on their updated TOS. And that was a nightmare because it was a lot of videos, a lot. And the amount that I recovered were the ones I kept that I thought were, worth keeping, like challenges and main shows, and maybe some Wii shorts that I thought were really entertaining. But we lost hundreds plus videos that are just gone forever. One thing that hurt me the most, and nobody else will care, I had every single Four Loko reviewed on the channel, and I always considered myself like a little library of reference where people could go and look at all the flavors. But just in general, it was horrible. And to me, that was when I never really had a lot of trust in YouTube, but that's when I decided, yeah, that's it. There's no more trust in YouTube anymore, because they literally went back on their own word from their own CEO, and they just decided to start nuking channels with no warning. And in the middle of the night, too. Like, how scummy is that? Because I've thought about this before. The fact that they could have done this during the day so that when they started doing strikes, people would be aware and they could do something. But no, they did it at like in the dead middle of the night, so that if you got hit when they flipped the switch on that algorithm change, you were just nuked. You were done. Just crazy stuff, man. Never trust corporations, ever, even if they're your employer. Trust me, at the end of the day, they only care about making money, and they make way more money, YouTube that is, by getting all of their endorsements and all of the big corporations that advertise on the platform. The creators themselves, we do not matter nearly as much. So that was my story about YouTube almost nuked the channel. I'm almost home now. I still don't feel great, and I'm gonna go climb through this snow. Look at that, like Jesus. And I'm gonna go lay the hell down. All right, bye.